Hello, good afternoon, welcome. I am Gary Gatto, and welcome to P1 Broadcasting's inaugural broadcast as we come to you today from Portimao in round one of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series. Not too often you get to see two grand experiments launch at the same time, but this is the inaugural broadcast for the new P1 channel that we just recently launched. And we thought no better idea than to launch the guys, soft launch the channel with the guys at eGP, or launching their idea of a new future for a sim racing league, the Hypercar Sprint Series. Joining me in the booth for this season, and have you heard him on our Tuesday night signature broadcast presentation of the IndyCar Oval Series Tuesday night top split, is Luis Gonzalez Nunez, aka the infamous LGN. Luis, welcome. Thanks for being here. As we just see Robert Sedler set a purple lap as qualifications are underway. 6 minutes left to go. Admittedly, neither one of us really know a lot about these hypercars. We had to kind of study up on them. But really, when you think about it, these cars really aren't that much different than the Indy cars we normally cover on a weekly basis, because these guys share a very similar hybrid system.
Yeah, for sure. We need to start to learn about these cars, and especially because IndyCar is started with that. Especially now, next week is the Oval Series in Iowa. So yeah, it's kind of new stuff for learn how to. It's funny because it's Le Mans is over there, Daytona 24 hours, and the Endurance Series too. But it's good to know new things without IndyCar, because we know about IndyCar panel. But yeah, this is a good start to learn about the batteries. New power system, new things, if you go straight, you can use it, the power system, or the brake time where you can recover battery and things. So this is a good start.
Oscar Fredrickson to the top with a 132.9. Watching Jan Korbs now working his way through the back half of the Porsche, back half of the racetrack, the circuit here at Portimao. Rule set for today, since this is a little bit of an experiment, we are still looking at a bit of a smaller field, but this is a 2.85 mile permanent road course. We're going to have a 45-minute races this season, so all races will be maxed out at 45 minutes. Unlimited fast repairs. Again, this is an experiment, so they are just testing things out. I would assume as we get into more cars and more experience with the cars and more experienced drivers, they will probably remove that unlimited fast repairs. But pit road speed limit is 37 miles per hour, and we'll do everything here in American units, because that's how my overlay is set up to do. Even though it's primarily a European league. Corbs to the top, 131.8. Looking at the track records for this place for the Hypercar, the 130.9 is actually the Hypercar track record. And of course, they track records for they're recorded as race laps, so not the overall ultimate speed laps of qualifying, just race laps. And that's I'm probably going to be, I'm too American here. I'm going to butcher his name, but I know his first name is Nicholas, probably Nicolas, and it's Lapierre. I think I'm saying that right. And the 2021 8 hours of Portimao in the Alpine car set a lap time of 130.9. So we're not too far off that. We're about a second away here with the guys here in eGP Hypercar Series. So thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash the like button, subscribe to the channel. That's the big thing. We are a new channel, so we are looking for new subscribers. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Also click the bell for future announcements of other iRacing broadcasts we will have, and there will be more and more of them added as our commitments with other channels run out. We'll be adding new series and new leagues and new races here to this channel instead. 2 minutes 19 seconds left here to play. It looks like everyone is going to sit on their time for the time being. Corb's on the pole with a 131.8. Holbloom right behind him, about a half second. Oscar Fredrickson 1.1808 behind. Then Julian Altena, we know him from our VOR coverage when we covered their DW12 races on Friday and IR18 races on Saturday, 1.353 behind the pole speed. And the host with the most here, this is Robert Sadler. He is 1.9 behind, and that is 145 left to play. That's really all I have for kind of the stats and everything to go over. We just hope everyone enjoys the coverage. Has any feedback, feel free to participate in chat.
The lap record. The whole lap record.
Okay.
Guess who?
I'm going to say like probably a Lewis Hamilton or something like that.
Yeah. 2020 and pandemic. 2020 pandemic? Yes, pandemic.
Yeah.
118.7.
Wow.
Faster.
Wow.
Oh, I remember. I have another flashback. I talked about flashback yesterday, but the last race I remember it's a Chilean guy fighting in the LMP3. He just only need to finish the race. I don't know what's happened on the end of the exit, the pit lane. They spun on the gravel, I think is the name. Yeah. And they lost the championship.
Oh.
The first run for him on his first season on the endurance Le Mans series or something like that.
Oh, the Le Mans Cup. Okay, the Le Mans Cup. Yeah.
So and then they change it for he's gonna go on GT3 now with the hypercars and GT3 here. So it's kind of familiar for me to watch this and they like oh my god, lost the race in 6 hours at Portimao. So
it doesn't take much, especially in a close championship. As we are getting ready to go official, and then we will line up to go racing here. And let's get today's starting lineup in. And there you see just our partial field that we got going on here. Jan Korb's on the pole, the 131.8. Cedric Holblum right next to him with the 132.4. Oscar Fredrickson, P3 with the 132.9. And Julian Altena lining up fourth, and Robert Sadler fifth.
I try to identify the kind of cars we have, and I see the Acura, the first one. I'm not sure.
Yeah, there are 4 cars in this series. So we have a Porsche, Acura, Cadillac, and BMW. Again, unlike IndyCar racing where we just have 2 engines and 1 chassis.
I think so. IndyCar have to have Honda at some point. Sorry, IndyCar. I said iRacing.
Yeah.
Talking about IndyCar. I don't know why they didn't add it yet, but this should be.
Well, the IndyCar, the Lara IndyCar is, I guess if you want to call it engine generic, doesn't have a specific engine in it, I don't think. But But you know, if there was an engine choice, I'm still picking Chevy after all the engine problems I've seen Honda's having lately. And my very first car that was given to me was a Honda. So normally, at least on the domestic side, Hondas you could drive those things into the ground. And they'll just keep going and going and going. I know my dad had at least 3 or 4 of them, and he took over 100,000 miles. I chose not to go the Honda route after I got rid of my first Honda. I went domestically, but on a long lap here. And we'll see what I think we're going to get about for 30 laps, I think, give or take. Depends on.
Calculate now.
Yeah, we'll get a calculation here momentarily as the pace car is coming
29.
down. 29. All right.
29, yes.
Field's under the control of Corbs, and we are green here at Portimao. Corbs, Fredrickson, Holblum, Altina, Sadler making their way through turns 4 down the backstretch, if you want to call it that. Into 5, a little bit of a 6 here, dog leg. Into 7 right here. Here's 8, one of the named corners.
Kind of psychedelic, the Robert Sadler paint he have. Kind of.
Yeah, Robert likes those interesting paint jobs. He definitely likes to go colorful. When we used to race together as teammates when we raced IndyCar, we all had identical IndyCars, except his had hot pink rims. And coming down to the completion of the first lap, Corbs, Fredrickson, Holblum, Altina, Sadler, as they all race down into turn 1. Different sounding engines that we're used to here. A lot more throaty. A lot more powerful than what we normally see with the IndyCar. Although IndyCar with the hybrids now, they have up to 800 horsepower now for the first time in a very long time.
That's not the same for me, really. It's just only like I posted like in one of the Discord around.
Yeah.
I said, what is different? What is changed? I said, well, one of the guys, Adam Blocker, said it's not changing about the sound. It's changing about what is inside. What kind of thing we need to figure out about the car. It's happened last time. There's one of the car have a issue. Oh, one of the Juncos racing, I think so. Was. Grosjean,
yep.
Or Grosjean have a issue with the engine. So, Chevy, that's the first I see for a long time ago. One of the engine is blowed. It's not really.
Scott Dixon didn't even get a chance to turn a single lap until they had to bring his car back to the pits to do a reset of the battery system.
Exactly. So it's like. I know it's the first one. It's like it's happened with Formula One when they started with these kind of things. You see the cars getting problems, especially McLaren. They have a Honda with kind of experience with that, but that's the way we expected. I hope it's nothing happened on Iowa because it's oval.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Oscar Fredrickson with the purple lap that time by. Anytime there is a new purple lap set, a graphic will pop up at the top of the screen there. Oscar is definitely running down Corbs here, giving a lot of heat on the backside here as they cruise through the fast portion of the backside of the course. Well, look at it diving in there deep, braking on the braking zone. Getting a little squirrely there in corner exit. Tires warming up, trying to get under high acceleration there. You can see, actually see through the window there. You can see Oscar's animated hands there trying to keep that car straight after coming under power. Down the main straight, up the hill. Speeds in excess of 190 miles per hour. Oster Fredrickson, purple again, 132.6.
So I have an information about the cars, and now I can figure it out. So the first one, Jan, is with Porsche.
Okay.
Oscar and Cedric with Acura, and also Robert. But Julian is with Cadillac.
Caddy, doing right along with Julian in the caddy there. There he is, Cadillac on the wheel. And that engine has a whole different sound to it. That's American V8 power right there.
That's what I... Sounds so cool.
Now, Team Penske runs the Porsche in this series, or in the real series.
The good thing about we're talking about the IMSA. The good thing, they can use the same car on Le Mans.
Yes. So
that's a good thing.
Yeah, that's one of the things that I love these cars. I love how these cars look. I love how they sound. But there's so much there's so different leagues or organizations around the world that run these cars differently. So there's like, you have the IMSA series, you have the World Sports Car or the World Endurance Championship, and you'll see these cars pop up at Daytona, and then you'll see them pop up at Sebring, and then you'll see them pop up at Le Mans. But two of those three races are under a different sanctioning body. So it's just hard to kind of keep up every now and then what's going on.
When we're talking about IMSA, I always remember Scott Pruitt, Ricky Taylor, Montoya. Yeah, so it's really good names, and also weird car before the replay or something like that. The name,
yeah,
kind of weird car. I don't know, and everybody's like, I watched the documentary. Said it's kind of weird because all the other series have a different design, and we have this car is like and it's too low. It's like it really doesn't make sense. But hey, they run it in the 24 hours at Daytona. That's a good thing. But when you go to Le Mans, you need to handle with different car and different thing on the car. So yeah, good for they change it. Finally, they have one line. That's a good thing. So that's the good thing to have only one line on around the world. So okay, let's take this Ferrari, let's bring it to Daytona, and don't make a new car, or oh, you know what, I'm gonna jump in a new team to try to figure out my strategy on to make my career. That's what I mean. So that's a good
Gotcha.
thing.
The Corbs is not getting away from Fredrickson. Seems to be a 3-car breakaway. We have Altena and Sadler kind of settling into their spots in 4th and 5th. I'm trying to get a list of teams here with the Hypercar entry. So Cadillac Racing is going to have, which is the factory Cadillac team, actually has former IndyCar driver Seb Bourdais driving for him, as well as Alex Palou, 2-time IndyCar Series champion. Frankly, after that win that he had at almost had. I think that if he won Mid-Ohio, I think I would for sure say Palou would have won, is going to be the champion this season. But way to go for Pato for pulling that win out. I think that might have saved the season from a runaway on for Alex there. But I think Alex is probably on his way onto a 3rd IndyCar championship. And the number of drivers that have 3 IndyCar championships is very rare indeed. But that's the Cadillac Racing team. The Porsche team, Porsche factory team. Then there's a...
what a spin.
Yeah, let's get back there, take a look. That is Oscar. And let's see what happened to him. Just kind of comes into the braking zone.
Yeah.
Back into those, getting the rear end rather warm. He brings it under braking. Probably needs to change the, maybe adjust the brake bias, and the back end just comes right on around on him. Gets himself out of the way of his teammate Holblum. Holblum is now P2. And, well, Julian might have had a shot at Oscar there. Yeah, we're still watching this battle. Julian and Oscar, former teammates in IndyCar as well.
So the only car in the field with V6 turbo is the Acura.
The Acura, nice.
V8. Acura. Oh.
It is the luxury brand of Toyota. Or am I no, that's a luxury brand of Honda. Excuse me, Honda.
Yes.
Infiniti is Toyota, and then no, Infiniti is Nissan. Gary, come on, get this stuff right. Oh, and we're watching Oscar still having moments
in the same corner. Whoa. I don't want to say adjustment to the brake bias.
Yep.
It's kind of more stuff like that, but should be, because it's coming too aggressive with the corner, and when you don't figure out the corner is too close, you try to brake hard, and well, for sure you lost the back.
Yeah, Lexus. I'm sorry, Lexus is Toyota's luxury brand there.
Like an extension of the American. Forget the word in English. Oh my god. House. Let's say house, anyways.
Yeah. Of course, Cadillac is the luxury brand, basically, of GM.
Oh, again.
Yeah, it's just not working. He's not got that corner hooked up. Also racing for Cadillac Racing is Scott Dixon, 7-time IndyCar Series champion.
7 times.
7 times.
That's a lot.
Yeah.
That's a lot.
And he's just a handful of wins away from beating or conquering the most wins mark for IndyCar history by AJ Foyt. People don't realize how good of a driver Scott Dixon is. Most people say, I didn't do Formula One. Doesn't really matter. His time has passed kind of for Formula One, but he's definitely maximizing his time in IndyCar and then also driving in the IMSA Sports Car Championship in some races for Chip Ganassi. Chip Ganassi doesn't have a team anymore, but he's now a hired gun. Watching Julian Altena now moving his way up to 3rd. He is a little bit a ways behind the lead duo there of Corbs and Holbloom. Here is Corbs. He's extended out to about a 3-second lead. We're about a 1/3 of the way through this. Thanks for joining us. We do realize it is a bit of a small field today, but it is 2 grand experiments starting off here at once. The inaugural race here of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series and the inaugural broadcast here on P1 Broadcasting on our brand new channel. Call it the soft launch, if you will. Last time by Corbs, a 1:33.2. There's his chief rival at the moment, Holboom. Holboom is sitting there at last lap of 1:34 flat, so he is losing pace to Jan.
Talking about Dixon. Dixon at least have 4 Daytona 500. It's at 24 hours. So 24 hours like Daytona.
Yeah.
4. 3 with a new generation IMSA, and also 1 with the Rolex Sport Car Series with the relay MK or whatever name with the team Telmex. So yeah. Actually, when I was in New Zealand, I was in New Zealand too. So it's not really famous because they're only thinking about cricket and rugby and things. So it's kind of the guy is. So I talked with one of my partners on the job, and they talking about Dixon. Who's that guy? It's Dixon. It's Scott Dixon. I said, oh no, I don't know who's this guy. So anyways. But it's famous around over here, so that's a good thing about him. And also, he don't have a New Zealand accent or something like that.
Well, he's been over here for so long; it's kind of neutralized a little bit. It's the standard middle central Indiana accent, which is exactly what I have, which is nothing from the north, nothing from the south. We don't have a bit of a country drawl, but we don't talk like we're talking through our nasals like we do up in Chicago. But yeah, he's starting to develop a bit of a neutral accent, but you can still hear the New Zealand in him.
Yeah, actually, it's not Hannah over there, so it's like a. But it's famous in the. They try to make it famous him, so it's like this is Scott Dixon. So when you take this aeroline or plane from New Zealand. You don't want to. They don't show you in person the emergency stuff and things. They put a video, and you can see Scott Dixon drive a boat and make like this is the exit and things. So just kind of at least show to the people, hey, this is Scott Dixon with our champion and things. So.
Oscar is having a hard time getting the power down on that hypercar of his. He is having a really hard time. I'm not sure. We might see one pit stop.
They have to.
They have to stop. Okay, then that will probably adjust his car a little bit with the new set of tires, but his back end is very unstable. We can watch it right there under braking. It just wants to freely kind of swing about, almost like he has a flat tire. Power slides it through turn 4 there, down the backstretch, coming into 5. This is where he's had trouble the last couple times. Handful of laps. Let's show Robert. No, we haven't seen much from Robert. There he is in the Technicolor Dreamcoat color car there. That one would be hard to miss in real life.
Oh, again, let's go. I think so. I don't know if it. I think that tire is gone, or maybe it's too hot. The tires. I gotta say this. The tire is too hot for Oscar, and I think so. He figured out this. The car is because the tires. It's not about the brake.
Well, we do have the temperature up here. It's 78 degrees Fahrenheit ambient, 132 degrees Fahrenheit on the track temperature. So that is up there. That is smoking hot. And there he is. He says, "I'm coming to pit road. I am coming to pit road."
But he need to save tires to the end. So well. He lost a lot of time for that.
We'll watch him get to his stall. So different here in sports car racing than what we're used to seeing with IndyCar. So they're going to change the tires. And I guess they can't begin feeling until the tires have been changed. I guess that's what it is in real World Sports Car Championship. And so the pit stops are similar, but yet very different than what we're used to seeing in IndyCar racing.
Exactly. So especially when they change the driver, changed it with the tires, I guess.
Yeah.
Or with the fuel. It's changed with something. So they must have changed it with one thing, but they cannot change it for both. And it's only two people to change it for tires. So yeah, it's kind of long, but it's because the fuel getting it's more fair actually than the Formula One. They have
they have 15 people.
Yeah, 15 people, and one of the guys just hold the car. Two guys hold the car. So yeah, I think that makes sense over there.
You got 3 guys. You got 3 guys on each tire in Formula One. And then you have the guy that stands there with the cart. That's like the target, hit me. So you need one guy on the team to volunteer to be a target, and then everyone else. You got the guy that hands the tire to the tire changer. You got the guy that takes the tire off the rim. It's just, the number of people over the wall in Formula One is insane. But they don't do fuel stops, of course, anymore. But their tire stops are something like 2.5 seconds. Well, Oscar Fredrickson back underway for his. I guess he gets his one required pit stop out of the way for the rules. So we go back up front to Corbs, who is our leader now by 7 seconds over Holbloom. Yeah, I did say Scott Dixon was a 7-time. He's a 6-time IndyCar Series champion. He's looking for the 7-time. 7-time champion, and he would tie A.J. Foyt. A.J. Foyt has 7 IndyCar Series championships. Not necessarily known as IndyCar Series back in the day when he got them. They were all under USAC's banner, but still, the way that we are combining history here between USAC and CART, and Indy IRL, and all that, just to kind of form it all under the IndyCar banner. 6 for Scott All of those were acquired either during the IRL days or during the IndyCar Series days. The number of times he's finished second is completely outrageous.
Funny thing, but it's really true. The IndyCar just only follow is because I checked the IndyCar records, but they don't show the records on the Champ Car or the PPG Champ Car or whatever its name.
They should know. They should now, I believe, because if you go and look and see the number of championships, you'll see that Sebastian Bourdais is credited with his 4 in IndyCar history.
But I checked the website. It solely show the, for example, they talk Las Vegas. So when you go to Las Vegas, they don't talk about Champ Car something over there is Las Vegas 500, the two Las Vegas, 97, 98 or whatever. But they don't talk about after that. So it's like what about Champ Car is they make official, for sure to make official something, but it's not really into the book records on the IndyCar. That's what my perspective outside. So that's what I check out the website. It's like, what about Champ Car? What about the US 500? What about the...
Yeah, they should have that. They should have all credited all those, because Seb Bourdais, they show in the IndyCar record book with his 4 series championships between 2004 and 2007. Also during the split, let's see, Paul Tracy won one. I think he has credit for his. Paul Tracy has credit for his. Cristiano D'Amata has credit for his. Let's see, Juan Pablo, has credit for his. Although if Palou wins and gets another one, he's right now in a company of about 24 different drivers that have 2. He gets into a category of really about 6 drivers who have 3 IndyCar Series championships, including Rick Mears, Al Unser, Sam Hornish Jr., and the name that most IndyCar historians, most IndyCar fans are watching Holbloom now sliding through the corners. He might be thinking about hitting pit road here soon. Altina has hit pit road, so has Sadler. Their pit stops are done, so we're watching the 2 leaders here. Here comes Holbloom to pit roads. Corbs is still going to continue to be out there to push. But Ted Horn has 3 IndyCar Series championships. For the longest time, Ted Horn was your IndyCar Series leader in the career championships until that generation of drivers around AJ Foyt finally came into the sport. But I think I'm not sure where you were looking at those records, but they all should be combined now. That was part of the reunification agreement. Is that everything that happened during the split on the kart side of things, or whether it be FedEx or Champ Car World Series or whatever they wanted to call it at the time, should be included in with the IndyCar record book.
Oh, I check in the IndyCar.com/result. So it's like okay. What is this? It's like for example, you see the seasons, 2024. No, 1996 to 2024. And then past winners, it's okay. And drivers. So yeah, it only count to 96. It's like, meh.
Yeah, it's definitely when you do the 96. So it looks like on the NTT IndyCar Series website, they're counting it back to the start of the IRL. But if you go on the Wikipedia, not saying that Wikipedia is the be-all, end-all of all records, because we know that people like to... Corb's having issues now. I'm assuming he's going to be coming in the pit road. He's under braking there in turn 3, and just didn't look like a good approach for him. So his tires are probably spent. Looking at about another 10 more laps here before the time runs out. We've gone now from 19 now to 29, or excuse me, from 30 to 29 laps for completion of this race, according to the computers. And let's see if he makes that turn down the pit road here, coming through the final corner. And he's going to stay out.
Coming very fast. But well, should be... Doesn't change nothing, maybe, I said. Because it's really, really fast. It's super fast.
Track temp still very hot, 132. Air temp 78. Orb still has the purple lap. If you noticed on the tree, just to help you with scoring it, you'll see here the purple number 1. That is not because he's in first place. It just means that he has the purple lap. So let's say Julian had the purple lap. The number 3 would be purple next to his name and number there. Just a way of keeping track of that number.
So Dallara is still with Cadillac as a chassis provider, and also BMW.
Yes. So BMW is the one that I don't think we're seeing in this particular race. There's BMW, Porsche. Oh, let's see if Cedric's going to make the turn. Nope. Or excuse me, Corbs Jan is going to stay on out. So it is Acura, BMW, Porsche, and Cadillac are the 4 in the series. I believe there's more than that in the real world, but in terms of what iRacing has the licensing for, they just have the licensing for those 4, which is pretty good variety, to really, be honest with you.
Just missing Ferrari and Lamborghini.
Lamborghini, yes.
Lamborghinis and complete the field or make. Well, they don't have the license, so this is now a battle for the 24 hours Le Mans.
So in the Grand Touring prototype, the GTP series, in the IMSA Championship, there's Cadillac Racing, which is the factory Cadillac team that has Seb Bourdais, Scott Dixon, Alex Palou on that one. Seb Bourdais is a full-time driver. But Dixon and Palou are the part-time drivers. Then the Porsche, there's Proton Competition. Don't really recognize any. Mike Rockefeller is probably the only name really I recognize from when I watch sports car racing. Then there is Porsche Penske Motorsports. Felipe Nasser, Joseph Newgarden's a part-time driver there. Wayne Taylor Racing with Andretti, so that's the Andretti crossover. Ricky Taylor, Marcus Ericsson, Colton Herta, Jensen Button is one of their part-time drivers there. Then the BMW team. Renee Rast, I think is about the name. Connor DeFilippi, know those 2 names pretty good. Jesse Cron, yep. Philip Ing. And then there's Wayland Cadillac. Tom Bloomquist is their part-time driver. Might be a more full-time driver now. We'll see. Lamborghinis.
Do you think? Sorry. Do you think all of this competition is like a retire for the drivers who don't have a seat on the main competitions.
For their sports car teams.
Yes.
I think that's how Penske kind of had it in mind, because at one point Penske didn't he have like Castroneves and Montoya driving for him down there, and he wasn't giving them full IndyCar rides. It's one of the reasons why I think when Montoya went to McLaren for those part-time rides. I mean, these cars are very advanced. I don't see where, you know, it being an older driver would have much more an advantage over a younger driver in these cars, to be honest. Just experience behind the wheel, getting to know these cars better. Yeah, Romain Grosjean actually drives for that Lamborghini team as their part-time guy. My experience with these type of cars primarily is with the LMP2 on the service. That drives a lot like an Indy car. Of course, my skill set on the road course is not very good. 7 laps to go. Corb's still your leader. Has not stopped yet. Holblum, Altena, Fredrickson, Sadler to Rainer to the top 5. Thanks for joining us. Make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel. This is our inaugural broadcast of both the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series and the P1 Broadcasting channel. Still a lot of pardon the dust here at P1, though. Got a lot of stuff underway, still being built. We'll have a website to be built. A lot of graphics, new graphics to generate. But coming up shortly here in P1, the Dark Horse DW12 Series will be returning for their summer series, as they will be doing a short season of 4 500-mile races at the Grand Slam tracks. Indy, Michigan, Fontana, and Pocono. And then when Season 4 of 2024 gets here for the IndyCar Oval Series, coverage will be moving here to this channel as well. Formula Indy Series, when they start their Season 7, we watch Corbs there sliding the car through Turn 4. Formula Indy Series returns back to action in Season 7. They will be here on P1 as well. And then starting in the middle of August will be Season 2 of the ISRA Truck Series on Monday nights at 9:30 p.m. Eastern Time. They'll be making the move to P1. And Jan has got his windshield wipers on. At least in that shot he did. Oh, sliding through! Sliding through!
I think it's his time.
Yeah, might be to get those tires off. He was sliding through, what, 10 and 11 there? Portimao? Is that what they actually call that corner? And let's see if he makes that turn down the pit road just to throw on a new set of tires and top off the fuel. And here he comes. Yep, here he comes. And he has himself a big, big lead at the moment. We'll watch Cedric. Holmboom is making his run now, knowing that his chief rival is on pit road. And the way the Delta is, I still think Corbs, unless he has issues on pit road, Corbs is going to come out in front of Cedric. It's about a 44-second Delta or so on pit road. And I don't think Corbs changed tires. I think he just topped off fuel.
Wow. It's coming Cedric in the main straight.
Yeah, Cedric main straight, full head of steam.
Oh, he didn't change it. You're right. Only fuel and that's it.
Yeah, tops off the fuel and is going to try to bring it home with no tire change. There is no rule that says that you have to change tires in this series, unlike IndyCar racing on road courses. Oh, and Holblum kind of messes up quarter number 5 there. So the remainder of our broadcast schedule for the week, we will not be on the air, at least broadcast teams will not be on the air until Saturday, 2 p.m. Eastern, iRacing IndyCar Series, or the iRacing, the IndyCar iRacing Series, however you want to say it. It's the IIS. 2 p.m. Eastern, the top split on Saturday at Iowa. The IIS races when the real NTT IndyCar Series races. And then Monday will be the ISRA Xfinity Series at Las Vegas on FTN. And then Tuesday, the IndyCar Oval Series top split will be at Legacy, Kentucky at 8:15 p.m. Eastern on Tuesday on ERN. That's the Elite Racing Network. The ISRA Xfinity Series will be on FTN. That's FTN Broadcasting. Check them out. Give them a subscribe. Check out ERN, the Elite Racing Network. Check them out. Give them a subscribe. And then next Wednesday, a week from today, a double-header Wednesday, as we will be watching these same eGP Hypercar Series drivers and maybe a little bit more as we go to the high banks out to Daytona Road Course. And then later that evening at 9 p.m. Eastern, we'll do the top split of the IIS at Montreal. For that week. There's going to be a scheduling conflict, unfortunately, on Saturday that's going to break up a good portion of the community. That one half will be going one direction, one half will go in the other direction. So we'll just reschedule the race for Wednesday. So that broadcast of the IIS top split race will be Wednesday, 9 p.m. Eastern. So doubleheader Wednesday. And then next time we visit the VOR Series, the Velocity Online Racing IndyCar Series, will be their DW12s for their round at Iowa on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern on the 19th. So that's the next 2 weeks here. Lots of racing action to be had. 4 laps to go. Watching Holblum, though, he is maintaining that 10-second gap to Corbs. Right behind Holblum there is Julian Altina coming out the final corner. Julian, 14 seconds. Let's take a look at gaps here, or intervals between positions. Definitely hear that different engine sound of Julian as he goes wide out into the AstroTurf. Julian is 3 seconds behind Holblum. He probably sees an opportunity to try to close here late in the race. Corbs is their leader here. He'll be looking for the green flag, or excuse me, the white flag just about any time now. Computers say 3 laps to go. I have to check with my my overlay dev. I'm supposed to have a countdown timer, and it's not doing it.
It's at 2 minutes and 30, 38, 37 countdown.
And then the overlay, oh, there it goes, 3 laps to go. The overlay just broke. It wasn't showing me anything up there.
I think so. It's 1 more lap. Yeah, because he passed in 2 minutes, so it should be 1 more. So maybe the next one is the white flag.
Yeah, I think the next one will be the white flag there.
Oh.
He has a little less than a 10-second lead now back to his chief rival in P2. Cedric is now 9 points, under 10 seconds, but right at the 10-second mark. Altena is cut within a second and a half. That battle is something that we might want to watch here in the next half lap or so.
Why?
Oh, yeah, and Julian is there as Cedric had a very rough turn 5 again. And Julian's there looking for the second step. Looking at the white flag, Corbs is here. Coming off of corner number 15.
Yep. White
down the main straight, white flag in the air.
He's coming, Julian.
Julian is side by side with Cedric, getting the position in the 1. Moves Julian up to P2 on the white flag lap. Now can he hold him off? I think Julian can. I think Cedric's tires or whatever it's just not connecting for him. Or him and his teammate have not fared well here in the race. They've started up front and have kind of lost positions as this race has gone on. Julian, the big gainer of the day, up 2 spots at the moment. Corb's going through 8 right now. I believe that corner is called Samsung. I must have a bunch of TVs there or something. Craig Jones in 9. Portimao in 10 and 11. And yes, I did have to use Wikipedia for that.
Technology, this is name.
Corb's through 14. Look at the final time through 15. And looking at the first win in the series, flashing the lights under celebration, Jan Corbs, your winner here at the 45 minutes of Portimao. Julian Altena getting P2 over Cedric Holblum. And Oscar Fredrickson coming home 4th. And Robert Sadler.
He's coming at 14.
He is coming through 14 now. And looking at 5th spot. As he does the Sadler weave down the front stretch.
Really, really good race. To be honest, short field, but it's really, really constant. It's like the people is getting it there, and really fun race to watch.
Yeah, learning. I think we're all kind of learning as we're going here.
I'm really curious about what about the tires on Jan.
Now we'll get into the interview room here. We're going to set up some replays. And let's get these graphics off. And let's get the track map off here. And then we'll get you in the final standings real quick. And then we'll jump into the interview room. Jan led them all on the one stopper. Just splash of gas there at the end is your winner. Julian started 4th, worked his way up 2 spots as he got more used to the car, getting around former teammate Fredrickson, and then getting around Fredrickson's his teammate Holblum late in the green flag, white flag lap coming to turn 1. Credit Julian with P2 and the most spots gained of the race. Holblum is 3rd, Fredrickson 4th, and Sadler 5th. All right. And let's see who's in the interview room here. And we'll bring Cedric on up into the broadcast. Oh, we cannot pull people into the broadcast.
Oh no.
All right, let's see. That's part of growing pains here.
Oh.
Let me see if we can send them a message and say that we cannot pull.
Oh, there it is. I can do it.
Oh, you can pull them in. I cannot. All right, Cedric, welcome to the booth. Lewis is the doorkeeper. He can pull people into the booth. I cannot. Cedric, talk about your race. First race under your belt officially under your belt for this series. Kind of a grand experiment. What do you think of the first race and your performance overall?
Yeah, it was a very fun race. I didn't do much practice for it, but it went good. And I only took 2 tires at pit stop.
Oh, took 2, okay.
Yeah, to gain some time on Julian.
Well, talk about there were some periods where when your tires were a lot later in the run and you were having a hard time keeping it on the track. Was it because of just the 2-tire change, or was it because the track temperature was so hot?
Because of the 2 tires change.
2 tires. Okay, all right. Well, what do you think of driving this car in this league and this new experiment of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series? Did you have a fun time?
Yeah. The cars are very, very fun.
Very, very fun. Well, before we let you go, you got anybody you want to say hi to? Sponsors, friends, family? Anybody you want to shout out to?
Shout out to my mom and dad.
Wise guy. That's a very smart man. Always got to shout out to the mom and dads out there. All right. Well, congratulations on the P3. We will see you at the next race next week at Daytona. And Lewis, if you can move him up into the waiting room, we'll grab the next one.
Thank you so much.
All right, and then we'll bring down bring down Julian, the old pro. And there's the old pro. There he is, getting P2 on the white flag lap. We noticed you started 4th, and I don't know how much time you put into these cars. Were you just getting a feel of the car more and more as time went on and eventually just found your pace and caught up to Cedric on the last lap?
Yeah, pretty much. I never drive these things, so calling me an old pro is a bit too far stretched. But
well, I'm telling you, old pro when it comes to the interview room.
Oh right, yeah. I've been in an interview room with you for a long time now, for quite many times as well. But yeah, no, I was just filling out the car, like you said. I did do about half an hour practice earlier today to kind of get a feel, because I never really driven the track since the F1 games like 3-4 years ago. So I knew which way the track went, but I didn't know how to drive it with this car. Yeah, it took my sweet time to get used to it. And apparently the football's already going on here. So sorry if you guys can hear the little thingies, but yeah, it was just getting used to the car during the race. Kind of let the fuel burn, because I knew that when the car was lighter, it would be more suited to my setup, because I was using the Apex setups, and usually they are pretty good for the long runs. So in a way, I was actually pretty sad that we had a fuel capacity limit for this, because if it ran a full tank for the whole race, I think I could have had a better chance. Even maybe, I mean, I wouldn't say for the win, but probably could have been close, because I think I was catching Jan at the end there a little bit because he didn't take tires as well on the stop, I should also add. So
Yeah.
I don't know how it would have played out, but I probably would have been a little bit closer anyway. But yeah, it was fun to kind of get my feet wet in some different racing. I've done an endurance race with this specific car, the Cadillac, as well, at Le Mans like half a year ago. So it was a while ago, but at least I got some experience with a sports car, which I guess definitely helped. But yeah, it was a really good race overall. Like I really enjoyed it, even though we had only 5 cars in the race. It was actually a pretty good race, in my opinion, because everybody was pretty closely matched.
Yeah.
So yeah.
When we were talking about the race and we were watching the guys out there, I mean, Lewis and I, basically our familiarity is that we know that there's a lot of IndyCar crossover in the real world between these cars and the IndyCar series. We'll see Scott Dixon, hello, of course. Seb Bourdais is a full-time driver in the series, the IMSA side of things. How similar or dissimilar do these cars drive to the IR18? Is there any crossover? Was there anything that you were able to learn from the that you had from the IR18 side of things that you're able to apply here to the Hypercar?
I mean, overall, the handling, I would say it's similar enough. It's not necessarily the proper definition of similar, but you can get your head around it pretty easily if you're used to Indy cars. Like I don't want to say that I was bang on the pace today, but I think for somebody who doesn't ever drive these cars, I think I did a pretty good job out there today, because Oscar and Cedric and Jan, I believe, are pretty regular, so to speak, with these cars. They certainly drive them more than I do. And I was able to keep up with them and even beat 2 of them, so I'm pretty happy about it. But yeah, like it's similar enough. You can jump in with like I said earlier, half an hour practice, and you can be reasonably competitive. So yeah, it's always different though to have a car that has like these wheel fenders or whatever you want to call them. I'm not a close functioning guy, but those things on the wheels. It's always different to race with those on the car than it is without them. Like I'm an actual open wheel guy. I'll drive anything open wheel if I have to. But this was definitely fun. But like I said, it's different to have that on the car because your spatial awareness is always different, because normally in an open wheel car, the limit is the wheels basically, and
Right.
you can rub on people a little bit. So that's different. I don't think I rubbed wheels with anybody, and if I did, it was with Cedric. But the mindset is different. That's the only thing I would really say that's actually different. In terms of driving the car, the same really applies. In terms of handling, I would say the only difference really is that you can roll this car a little bit more. It's less stop and start like the Indy car is on road courses. It doesn't necessarily feel too different, like I said, but if I have to say a difference, that's one of them.
So the suspension's a little bit more the suspension's a little bit softer and more forgiving.
Yeah, because for the endurance stuff that these cars usually do, IndyCar doesn't really need those.
No, not at all. Well, shout outs, friends, family, sponsors you want to say hi to before we let you go? P2 today?
Yeah, of course. I want to thank Robert for organizing this. Robert's been a friend of mine for many years now. I think we even met on the F1 games like 5 to 10 years ago at this point. So we've known each other for a while. Want to thank all the guys that showed up. Except Jan, I know everybody in the field. Was nice meeting Jan as well. Pretty relaxed group of guys, as I know. Some of them are my friends, as I said. But it was nice to catch up and drive with those guys again. I want to thank you guys for the broadcasting. Congratulations on the channel launch, by the way, Gary. I know you've been working hard for this. Hopefully the broadcast was good and fun to watch with only 5 cars. I'm looking forward to it. Hopefully we
found things to talk about.
But yeah, it was overall a really fun event. I want to thank everybody else behind this league. I'm not sure who exactly is, but I'm sure Robert's got some help. So whoever you are out there, thank you as well. Want to say hi to my girlfriend. She started an iRacing account the other day. So I'm teaching her the ropes of especially oval racing. I think road course racing she's not really going to be that great at, because road courses, when she's been driving on my setup, she always goes straight on in turn 1 at Watkins Glen. She can't seem to find the switch in her brain to say, oh, I need to brake for turn 1 at Watkins Glen. But it's been fun teaching her. Hopefully she can get in the race in these races soon enough. And
all right.
And yeah, you'll hopefully see a pink DW12 at some point, maybe even this season.
A pink and black Vor DW12. All right.
Yeah, exactly. So that's going to be fun. But yeah, I believe that's pretty much it. Now onto my team stuff. Want to thank IFS Personal Financial Planning, 40 Racewear, Alzheimer's Association. I still need to put all their stickers on the car, but I didn't have much time to get this paint done today. So they'll be here hopefully for the next race. And of course, also the most important thing of all, for me at least, check out my IndyCar League, Velocity Online Racing. We run a DW12s on Fridays and IR18s on Saturdays, both at 3 p.m. Eastern US time or 9 p.m. Central European Summer Time, which is 8 p.m. UK time, which is broadcasted by you on our channel. So that's it, everything. Thanks to everybody that was a part of this as well and who set it up again. And just looking forward to the next 2 races now of this and hopefully with more people.
All right, you got it. Lewis, if you do the honors of putting Julian back up into the waiting room and bringing down Jan, we will get the interview here with the winner.
Cool. Thank you.
Hello.
Oh, no, bring down Julian again. There it is.
Yeah, I know. That's very bad.
Jan Korbs, the winner here, led them all from start to finish and decided to only go with fuel only on that last stop. How were the tires at the end of this 45-minute race for you?
Worse than expected, to be honest. Yeah, it was like right from the start, it was pretty obvious that this was going to be a tire war with those track times, but yeah, managed it to the end.
Was it a handful there at the end, or you just had to kind of slow down the pace a little bit and just manage what you had?
After the pit stop, I saw my tire remaining, and it wasn't really good.
Oh.
Especially the rear tires were really, really low on half, and yeah, it was really sketchy to drive traction-wise. But yeah, I had the gap to the cars behind, and I took a bit of that as a safety cushion, and yeah, I managed to finish still well ahead.
So talk about these cars. This is kind of a little bit of an experimental league trying to play around with these hypercars in a sprint series. What'd you think of the first race, despite not having a lot of people there, but just like the challenge of managing that car for the 45 minutes and on this Portimao track, which is frankly kind of new to the series. Not a lot of track time people have here unless you've raced the Formula One games. Talk about what the series can be and how this car is. I mean, did you have a fun time there racing, or does it need more work? I mean, give me your thoughts.
Well, first of all, it's like completely different to like official iRacing series IMSA because the traffic isn't there anymore. You have like 45 minutes of completely pushing, or in that certain case of today, tire saving, yes. But also that is like pretty tough and not too easy, so you have to be focused all the time, saving those tires or go for lap times. I think like if this track would have been at 20C, everybody would have been pushing and it would be the same tens and same demanding from the drivers. But yeah, I think if we can get this running properly, this league can have a lot of potential for good racing.
Any shout outs, friends, families, sponsors you'd like to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, I want to thank Right Engineering, my team, of course, for making this possible. Like, really good team, and I really enjoy time being there, and also for telling me about this league. Also, like especially Jonas at this point.
Well, congratulations on the win. So you had the pole. You did win the pole. You led all the laps. You had the fastest lap, and you got the win. So, Grand Slam Wednesday for you. Congratulations. That is another feat that is not easy to pull off. So, congrats on that. And we will see you in a week at Daytona.
Thank you. Thank you.
Lewis can go ahead and move him on out, and we will wrap up the show here. Your final thoughts after today's race. Again, we realize it's a bit of a grand experiment going on. Not a lot of cars in the lineup. We'll probably see more next week. Also, a more familiar track next week when it comes to Daytona. But what do you think of the first time watching Portimao? This is my first time I ever watched a race here at Portimao, at least on the service. What do you think of it with these cars?
Really my first time too. So I just started watching in the real life by TV for sure. And very, very, first of all, super hot track. That's the one we saw yesterday on the IndyCar, but we saw today more hot than that. So it's really, really difficult at that. So Oscar have a kind of issue to that. That's what we saw today about the track temperature, brake momentum, everything. So Jan did that. So like he said, 8%, no 6%, the less tire percent on the tire. So
yeah,
he really managed with that. This is really good for him. So let me tell you, to next one, it's gonna be a lot of people because Daytona, everybody have Daytona.
Yeah,
everybody. So I hope it's gonna be a great field next one, and for sure it's gonna be a great show because when you expected 5 people, what do you expect? Maybe it's gonna finish only 1 or 2, but we saw everybody finish on the field. So and also it's a mixed age, so good too. So that's a good thing.
All right. Well, I think that's going to do it for us here and everyone else here at P1. So that's it for today. Once again, your podium from Portimao is Jan Korbs is your winner. Julian Altina, our friend from the VOR series, finishes second, and Cedric Holbom is finishing third. Join us again next week for round 2 of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series as these teams and drivers head to the World Center of Speed, Daytona International Speedway, with the and they will be doing the 24-hour road course, the GT road course, GTP road course, whatever you want to call it there. But coverage begins around 2 p.m. Eastern. Again, that's 2:00 p.m. Eastern. As always, for the correct time in your area, you can find everything you need right here on YouTube at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game's not easy to sleep, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below to let us know what you thought of today's race. And if you enjoyed today's coverage, support us by smashing like of the video. If you're new, that's the most important thing. Click subscribe, and while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so you'll miss out on more of other P1 iRacing programming. And we will have a lot of it coming up here in the future. Track cams provided today by Whiplash Sim Cams. Thank you to Whiplash Sim Cams for being the official camera pack provider for P1 Broadcasting. To learn more about Whiplash, follow them on Twitter or like them on Facebook. You can also follow them on Instagram now. Links are in the description for Twitter and Facebook, and you should find a link to their Instagram pages from there as well. So, for LGN, everyone here at P1, I'm Gary Gatto saying all good day. Thanks for watching. And to all our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Daytona for the next race of the eGP Hypercar Sprint Series. See ya.